Hello and welcome to NJBIZ Conversations. I'm your host, Jeff Kanij. My guest today is Adam Michaels. He is the chairman and CEO of Mama's Creations. It's the parent company of MamaMancini's, the prepared foods manufacturer. Adam, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Jeff.
Thanks for talking to me. I appreciate it. I wanted to start talking a little bit about you. As I recall, you were appointed CEO in 2022. You've been in the
Yep.
food industry for quite a while. You were at Mondelez. You were head of M&A at North American Ventures, which portfolio included snack foods like Tate's Cookies. What attracted you to Mama Mancini's and then Mama's Creations?
Yeah, no. So look, anything good in my life is my wife. My wife actually got a call through a friend, and she's in the finance world, but this guy was looking for a food person, and she said, "Well, why don't you give my husband a call?" So again, anything good in my life is my wife. Um, wasn't looking for anything. Took the call. Actually, sent my resume on a Thursday. The chairman sent me a message back on Friday. We met on Monday. I didn't even look into the company. That's how I just wasn't that interested.
Okay.
And I get on, and 8 other board members joined. So literally, it was 9 people and me. We spent a couple hours together. They called me back. They were interested. I came literally 2 days later to the facility, and that's where I really fell in love. I literally came home to my wife. I said, if Mondelez was in the deli space, which it is not, this is exactly the company I would have bought. So authentic. There really is. I get to hang out. I was just got off the phone with Dan Mancini. Unfortunately, Mama has passed, but you know, if you looked at all it, so I bought about half a dozen companies from Mondelez over my years in M&A. I'm pretty boring. They're the same companies, strong principles, founder-led, great story, authentic, and this is exactly Mama Mancini's. So super lucky and very proud to be here.
Okay, well, that's good to hear. Um, I want to talk a little bit about the company then. Your most recent earnings report, which was just last week, if I
Yep.
recall correctly, pretty solid. You beat estimates for quarterly revenue, earnings per share. In the call, you talked about your 3C strategy, which involved costs, controls, and culture. I'm curious what improvements you made in those areas and how that's translated to the bottom line.
Yeah, that's wonderful, and it's just an incredible team effort. So actually, I think we're 6 for 6, 6 quarters in a row of beating expectations on the top and bottom line.
Okay.
Um, we expanded we had a analyst day back in February and added a fourth C, catapult. So the
Okay.
4 Cs we're doing a great job on. First, about cost. So when I got here, gross margins were about 12%. Now they're upwards of 30%. Just a tremendous amount. I truly believe what gets measured gets improved, and the team has really bought into it. And we're seeing literally savings across the board, whether it be freight. Freight's been cut in half since we started together. Having the right pricing in place. Our labor is way down. We're bringing in new automation to drive even further efficiencies. So cost is really proud of the cost side. Controls, really the most important thing. So if you don't have a strong foundation, you're not going to be successful. Hired when I first got here. Actually, the board wanted me to start earlier. I said I wouldn't start until I brought in my own CFO. When Anthony Gruber, we're in great shape. Peter Monch, our controller, is just absolutely amazing. And I haven't lost an ounce of sleep at night since they have both come on and strengthened our balance sheet. I think when I got here, we had like $1 million of cash. We just announced over $10 million of cash, actually
Okay.
$11 million of cash.
Mhm.
Debt, I think was at, I don't know, 13, 14, $15 million. Now it's in the eights. So you saw just really strong balance sheet, strong foundation. Our cash conversion cycle is negative, meaning we take in money faster than we give it out, which is the strength of a business. And then you have culture. Culture is, you're supposed to love all your children equally. Culture is the one that I love just a little more equally,
Okay.
because it's just really cool. Our first ever performance management cycle we just went through. We have our mission and vision. We have an amazing HR lead in Abby Meeks, and just love the culture. And then last, in Catapult now because we had these first three, and I feel good about these three, I felt comfortable adding a fourth. Brought in an amazing chief marketing officer in Lauren Sella. Great trade lead and Nick Powers, and we're off to the races. More than 17% growth. In the beginning of the year, we were growing single digits. Now we're doing great. So, and I promise the best is yet to come.
Okay. Well, it sounds like then you have your team in place. Is it fair to say that you've got the people that you want now running the various
Yeah, no,
aspects of the company?
it's tremendous. Strong operations folks now, a great power team. We've built a sales force. When I got here, pretty much it was one salesperson. Now we have five. So we're getting there. Very much. Please send the resumes over. I'm very much looking to continue to expand a little bit, but I love where we are, and now we have the liftoff we need to really take it to the next level.
Okay. Was that a function of it being a family company essentially, or just a new company? When you came in and saw these things and you decided on the three C's, now four C's, what were you seeing that you felt like you needed to change?
Um, I think I'm very lucky. I've been, like you mentioned, in the food space for as long as I can remember from a professional side, and I love what I do. I mean, I truly do every job that I love. They let me go on route rides. I pack the trucks at night and do the route rides in the morning. If I'm a really good boy, they let me participate on the grill, though I know it scares them every time I'm on the grill. Just running the lines. I love what I'm doing, and I think what we are looking for is to bring in that same passion that
Okay.
I have and that others have. I think, bringing in new people are great. I will tell you, there are people that it was like an anvil on their chest for whatever reason. Some of the folks that when we first looked, as a leadership team, maybe these aren't the right people, and they have blossomed like you would not believe. We just had our town hall, so immediately after earnings, I have a town hall. I pretty much meet with the team at least once or twice, once a month or every other month as a management team, a broader about 50-person management team. The energy, like you feel it, and I think that's, and going back to, I love all things equally, but culture a little bit more. That will culture each strategy for lunch any day of the
Okay.
week.
All right. Well, I can certainly hear the energy in your voice. If that translates
There
into
you go.
those around you, I guess you're in good shape. Last August, if I remember correctly, the company rebranded from MamaMancini's to Mama's Creations. As I understand it, at the time, I think you were saying you were moving beyond, or you wanted to signal that
Yeah.
you were moving beyond Italian foods. How has that process played out? Where are you in terms of getting to where you want to be as a new kind of company?
Yeah, it's less about rebranding. We're still keeping MamaMancini's for our Italian heritage
Right.
business. What we saw is, and the strategy I laid out with the board is to be this one-stop shop in the deli. So everything, think, you know, whether you have your proteins, meatballs, meatloaf, sausage and peppers, whether you have your chicken products, grilled chicken, breaded chicken, whether you have your green salads, whether you have your Mediterranean farro, Israeli couscous, we have amazing paninis. My favorite go-to lunches, we have these Nashville hot paninis, which I love, this cool relish. Wraps, olives, we are an olive company. So you close your eyes, anything that's behind the glass, anything that's in the cold bar, the hot bar, the prepared food set, the grab and go set, that's where you'll find Mama's products. We're expanding beyond just Italian. We've already been doing it. And,
Right.
that's why I brought Lauren in. I'm not that good at marketing or branding, but MamaMancini's Korean meatballs or MamaMancini's chana masala doesn't have that same ring to it. So
Right.
what's great about it is we did a lot of research. Another old job I used to have was running all of our intelligence at Mondelez. So think consumer insights and category management and shopper and forecasting. So I'm very passionate about, I don't care what you think. I don't care what I think. I care about what my 330 million friends in America think. So we actually went out there, and what we found was no matter what nationality you were, everyone has a mama. And actually in a
Okay.
surprising number of countries, it sounds like mama. So Mama's Creations gives us the opportunity to truly be that one-stop shop.
Okay. Well, I can tell you, we probably shouldn't have scheduled this for lunchtime because as you're describing all this, I'm getting very hungry. You mentioned your history with M&A. I guess it's safe to assume that acquisitions might be part of the strategy going forward.
Yes. So, again, I laid out with the board my vision for the company. We're going to be $1 billion business. Half of that growth is going to be organic. So we're roughly
Okay.
about $100 million of revenue today. That's going to go to 500 million. And then we're going to acquire $500 million worth of revenue. So yes, M&A is absolutely, you see, we've already done, I think we've done 2 or 3 already with Chef Inspirational this past summer, and then
Right.
Olive Branch, and then Creative Salads. M&A will be absolutely a strong part of our overall strategy.
And NJBIZ readers should be familiar with those deals. What would you look for in a target? Are you looking for, say, for example, in category leaders? Are you
Yeah.
looking for certain financial metrics? How do you go about evaluating what you might want to acquire?
Yeah, absolutely. So we keep it really simple. So first is we're a deli company, so it's going to be in the deli. Don't
Okay.
don't don't try to sell me a great shoelace company or a great company in the frozen aisle. We're in the fresh prepared deli or even the fresh meat, but it's that same sort of section. Ideally incremental. So I'm not looking for another meatball company. I'm doing pretty okay with that. But
Okay.
soup is a big part of the deli. We don't play in that today. Pizza is a big part of the deli that we don't play in today. I would hope it's not a surprise that Dan brings in amazing pizzas for us to try. And sushi is a small but growing part of the deli. We don't play there today. Those would be the types of things we're looking for. The second thing is it has to be west of the Mississippi. So we
Okay.
already have 2 facilities on the Northeast. Anything west of the Mississippi, my boys we have 2 boys. They're into skiing. So ideally the company's in, I don't know, Utah, Colorado area.
Okay. There you go.
And then and then third is they have to have their own manufacturing and or distribution. So, in my dream, the boys are skiing in the morning in Utah or wherever, and in the afternoon, not only do we have whatever the soup or the sushi company, it has enough space that we accidentally put another chicken line in, or we accidentally put another meatball line in. That will allow us to, even better service to West Coast. We're national today. We
Okay.
sell to all 50 states. It will just lower our cost if we can move a little bit west of the Mississippi.
Okay. So that west of the Mississippi, that doesn't represent a real big expansion for you. You're already there, is what you're saying.
It's not an expansion of our customer base.
Okay.
So we sell in all 50 states, but it does help me from a
Okay.
cost perspective. And I love redundancy. I made a big mistake in my life is I took a job doing business continuity planning early in my professional food career. So I am forever nervous that God forbid something should happen to one plant. That's why we have 2 right now. And actually we cross produce there. So when I first got there, one kitchen did meat, beef, and another one did poultry. What I did is I've made it such that they actually cross dock. There are things that yes, most of the chicken is made there, but they could actually make some meatballs or meatloaf or whatever. Same thing here. Such that God forbid something should happen, we're always producing all of our items.
Okay. Very good. Now you've mentioned Daniel Mancini a couple of times. He was a big part of the company's marketing, at least in terms of around here. Anyway, I think a lot of
Yeah.
viewers will remember the commercials and the jingle.
Yep.
I read that he had been part of what you call grandma quality meetings about new
Yeah.
products.
He
Is
still
those
is.
kinds of things still go on? You
Yep.
said you were talking to him, so he's still
No,
involved in the company. He's still
oh,
there.
oh God, absolutely. Nothing has changed. Actually, Dan is a huge part of our company. He's our heart of
Mhm.
our company. So yep, get to see him all the time. I think the key thing is, I would argue, we didn't change. We just added, right? So all the same MamaMancini is still here. The same products that we're
Right.
selling so well is nothing has changed in that sense. The idea is just adding. I felt strongly that if we are going to be, or we will be, this $1 billion business, while Dan could absolutely eat Italian, 21 meals a week.
Right.
I have 2 young boys. I can't do Italian every night. So I
Okay.
want to make sure that, bring in a nice piece of chicken or bring in, my boys really when I tell you we do everything in the deli, we're up and down the streets in New York. My boys, we make a strawberry cream cheese. That seems to be our boys' favorite product. But, we'll get in there. They like our wraps a lot and our paninis. We make some
Okay.
really good paninis.
Okay. Excellent. You announced a Costco roadshow, which I think is starting next month in May, if I'm right.
Yep.
What are you expecting there? What's that going to be about?
Yeah, and again, this is just a continuation. So we have a great partnership with Costco. We've been there for a really long time. Historically, before I got here, we were mostly we sold them meatballs, and we did it in the Northeast. So this is the product that sort of made us famous of
Ah,
sorts
right.
in Costco. We wanted to expand that partnership, and last year was just incredible for us. I'll call it the trifecta of wins. So first, we got actually right over here. We just got a sausage and pepper product actually in our LA region last
Okay.
year, which is
Hmm.
really good. So it's our first ever non-meatball product. We were in 5 regions. So if you know, Costco has 8 regions. They're all rotation based primarily. So we were in 5 regions. So we got additional regions, and then we got multiple rotations. So it's not like we were doing really well in the Midwest. We had multiple rotations in one year, and then our largest actually ever in the Northeast. So what we're doing is the road show is we're somewhat famous for our sauce as well.
Okay.
So we only sell this on QVC.
Hmm.
We have actually a very big QVC business.
Okay.
And Costco really wanted this. So we're actually doing 4 different types of sauces. We have a mushroom, a cheese, a home style, and a traditional.
Okay.
So it's going to allow consumers, it's actually pretty cool, sort of like a craft beer. They get a 3-pack, and they can pick any one that they want. They could have
Oh,
3
okay.
traditional, they could have 3 different ones, 2 mushroom and 1 cheese. And then they asked us to, of course, highlight the meatballs, the sausage and peppers, and then
Okay.
actually they also asked us to do a meatloaf. So that you'll see
Ah,
all
okay.
7 of these items in 2 locations. One in Sterling, Virginia,
Okay.
in the kind of DC area, and then one in Pittsburgh,
Ah, okay.
PA. So those will be the 2 locations. There'll be a 2-week road show, 2 days, 2 weeks for those 2 locations.
Okay. Well, interesting just to see how that plays out. Finally, I'm interested in your views of the food industry as a whole. Before the pandemic, consumer behaviors seemed to have been changing. Traditional prepared foods, consumers were kind of moving away from them towards sort of more healthier options, higher quality foods. The pandemic kind of upended everybody's sort of expectations and habits. Where are consumers now, and are you right there with them, do you think?
Yeah. So first of all, I'd love everything to be, I don't even know what back to normal is, but things have changed. And our friend Jerome Powell and managing inflation. So if you look at inflation, the latest numbers just came out. What's happening is things are getting more expensive. We know that food inflation is getting more expensive. But if you double click into that, there's actually a big difference between in-home inflation, which is hovering around 1.5%,
Uh-huh.
and out-of-home inflation, which is like 4.5%. So
Okay.
what's happening is you and I always knew that restaurants were more expensive.
Right.
What's happening is they're actually becoming more expensive at a faster rate. And that's driving consumers to actually go into the freshly prepared deli space, which is more cost effective. So what's happening is you're having this virtuous circle of consumers want more of it. Retailers are actually adding shelf space to the deli. It's amazing. I've been
Okay.
in the food space for a long time. Never once have I seen them grow carbonated beverages, salty snacks, cookies, crackers. Probably the only business I was in candy, working with Sour Patch Kids and Swedish Fish, which my boys love. That was growing, but it's very seldom for shelf space to grow. It's growing because retailers are seeing it's driving more trips. Consumers, when I was growing up, my mom and dad would go food shopping on Sundays, and that was it for the week. What's happening now is mom and dad are going every single night on the way home. Hey guys, what do you
Okay.
want? Right?
Hmm.
That's
Right.
driving more trips. And they also see that people that buy from the deli space, actually the baskets are bigger. So what that means is the retailers want to add more space, which means consumers are going more often, more space, and you get the virtuous circle. The other
Okay.
thing that's really powerful is, again, when I was growing up, my dad would come home from work at 6 o'clock. If my butt wasn't in the seat at 5:59, there was going to be a major problem. And whatever my, mom made for my dad, that's what we ate. And if we didn't want that, my poor mom used to make me make these bay scallops. They were, oh. But you know what? If you didn't want to eat it, that's great. You'll eat it for breakfast.
Okay.
Now what happens, I don't know about you, but in my house, my son wants beef, my other son wants Indian, my wife wants a salad, I want, Korean, and we look like we're all going to the diner, right? Or that's what's changing. All of these things are perpetuating or allowing our category, these macro trends. It's incredible. Our category, the deli prepared food space, is growing in units. Units were up 3.6%, L52, just last week. That's crazy. Overall, dollars up 5.6%. This is a really great, healthy growing, right? It's not pricing driven. It's really healthy, volume driven, which is great. Look, I did not create the wave, but I will happily ride it. And what we're trying to build here is a better boat and a better crew to ride that wave.
Okay. Well, my last question then was going to be the outlook for the rest of the year. Sounds like you're pretty optimistic about where the business is going over or at least over the short to medium term.
No, I love it. I really, again, what was really important when we started was having this strong foundation, this financial foundation of strong cash management, profitable growth. We have done I would argue we've done most of the hard work already on getting that foundation. Now it's to the moon. We are riding a wave someone else created, and I will happily do that. There's just tons of room for growth. This is exactly where the consumer wants to be: fresh, clean, easy to prepare, and Mama's is going to deliver that for them.
Okay. Well, I hope you come back and give us an update on how things are going at some point. That'd be great.
My pleasure. Thanks, Jeff, so much.
Adam Michaels, Chairman and CEO of Mama's Creations in East Rutherford. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Cheers. Bye.
And thank you all for watching. Until next time, stay safe, everyone.